Hello, my name is Alyssa McCoy, and for my teaching assignment, I chose to discuss what are the most important factors involved in persuasion. So to start off, we can ask the question, what is persuasion? Persuasion is defined as the act of causing people to do or believe something. Persuasion is found in many aspects of our everyday lives, and the marketing course we're studying is highly influenced by the concept of persuasion. Some examples of persuasion to get someone to do something could be getting someone to purchase a product or service, sign a petition, change a personal habit, or join a cause. In this discussion, I will be talking about two different theories of persuasion. The first is defined in the text by Robert Cialdini. The book is Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. He defined that there are 6 major factors involved in persuasion, and they are as follows: reciprocity, scarcity, liking, authority, consistency, and consensus. The following slides in this presentation will dive into each one specifically. So the first factor is reciprocity. This concept shows that people give back what they receive from others. So as humans, we often feel indebted to someone who is generous to us. The key to using reciprocity as persuasion is to be the first one to give the gift and to make sure it is a surprise and that they're taken off guard. A study in the psychology textbook showed that tips can increase up to 23% when a waiter gives out mints at the end of a meal, which was very interesting. Free samples are also a great way to make someone more likely to be on board with your sale, and this is also an example of reciprocity. Okay, so the next factor is scarcity. This talks about the idea that people want more of what there is less of. This taps on the idea that people want what they cannot have. The key is to note unique qualities, but also the benefits of what you're trying to sell. To use scarcity to its strength, using verbiage like, quote unquote, you will be missing out if you don't buy blank, or quote unquote, we are selling out fast. Those are great examples of the use of scarcity. So the next factor, liking, talks about how people are more likely to say yes to someone that they like and that they respect. If you seek a personal connection with the person you're selling an idea to, it'll be harder for them to say no. A great idea when using liking is to use or give a genuine compliment to the person before you pitch your idea. This will make it a little bit more personal and they'll be more likely to listen to what you have to say. So for the next factor, authority, discusses the idea that people listen to credible and knowledgeable experts. People want to be able to trust others, and the more reliable you look, the better of a response you'll receive. It is also important to establish your credibility before you begin the persuasion process. Alright, so the next factor is consistency. When you use consistency for persuasion, you're asking for smaller commitments to build up to a larger goal. This means less pressure on the person you're trying to persuade as well. It's a more deeper psychological evaluation of them. An example could be, instead of saying, please call us if you need to cancel your appointment, instead you would say, will you call to cancel your appointment? This way that when they answer the question as yes, they're more likely to commit and give you a call if they have to cancel. When using this concept, people are less likely to back down if they verbally commit to something. Okay, so the last concept of this theory is consensus. This is when people are always looking to others to determine the best course of action for making their decisions. It becomes easier to make a choice if others before them have already made it. And a great example of consensus in marketing is testimonials. So testimonials can be used to show other people's interactions, usually positive interactions with your business or product. Okay, so the next theory is by none other than the Greek philosopher Aristotle. It's Aristotle's theory of rhetoric. He has defined three major elements in persuasion, and they are logos, pathos, and ethos. He claims that there are only three parts that we as humans use in making decisions. Okay, so the first element, logos, is known as a logic influencer. We make decisions based on logic and knowledge. Statistics are great for presenting information that appeals to someone's logos. The second element, pathos, is based on emotions. It is understood that we can influence someone's emotions to make a decision. When a persuader mentions anything to do with something personal, it is usually linked to the pathos part of the theory of rhetoric. Saying something like, quote unquote, you will never be satisfied without this product. That taps into someone's emotions for sure. Lastly, ethos is based on the persuader's credibility. When a business says, quote unquote, been serving your community since, for example, 1962, or quote unquote, #1 doctor recommended toothpaste, both of those are an example of when a seller is attempting to influence your ethos. Aristotle also noted that being the best persuader means balancing each of the three elements according to the person that you're looking to persuade, as well as the situation. Alright, so some of the sources that I used for this research presentation is a psychology book mentioned earlier by Robert Cialdini. The text is called Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. I also used the online Britannica Encyclopedia and the textbook Speak to Win by Brian Tracy. So yeah, those are the resources I used. Thank you for listening.